Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar. Then we'll run through various short range models looking at the potential for severe thunderstorms over the course of this weekend. We're seeing very warm air spread up from the south. Not only could it give temperatures into the mid-20s for some, but it does look like we could see some more severe storm outbreaks starting as early as Saturday afternoon, all the way through Sunday and Monday. It does look like there's going to be multiple chances for quite severe storms and even complex systems of storms. We see multi-celled systems moving up from France, and we could see some very, very lively events through Saturday, Sunday and Monday. So we'll have a look at that in a lot of detail in today's video, and then we'll have a look briefly at the end of the video, just keep up to date with the longer range, look at the GFS and the ensembles, just to see what we could be seeing as we head into the first half of the first month of summer. So, do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. And remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Also, do check out the channel membership, that link is in the description below as well. So if you do start on the live radar, you can see today, it's not completely dry for all, but it's one of the best days of this bank holiday weekend. Today and tomorrow are going to be pretty decent for quite a few. So most areas are dry, especially further eastwards and southwards. However, you can see across the Republic of Ireland and Northern Ireland a band of quite heavy rain. And this is pretty miserable, of course. To the east of it, alright, to the west of it, a few showers. Now, you can see a few showers across northwest England, into Liverpool area, doesn't look great, into Formby, doesn't look great there. Precipitation coming in off the North Sea, I think there's just sort of residual precipitation ahead of this weather front. And you can see a few pop-up showers heading up into the northeast, into parts of Newcastle, Sunderland area, and then, of course, again, a few into Scotland as well. Some of these quite heavy, with some torrential rain within it, but they are just pop-up showers. Not widespread by any means, but they will be slow-moving. So if you have seen these today, you will know about it, but most areas are dry. And you can see the predominant area of England and Wales are pretty decent indeed. Nothing too bad there at all. But that is going to be changing as we head into the weekend, as we'll see now with the various short-range models. So, if we do start on the UK Met Office run, we'll have a look at the precipitation and temperature from this run, and then we'll have a look at the WRF, we'll have a look at the Cape values, various different temperature values, looking at different levels in the atmosphere, and then we'll also have a look at the ARPEGE, looking at the Cape values and precipitation as well. So if we do start on the precipitation here, you can see that rain moving into the Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland. You can see those dotted showers around. You can see it's worse in that sort of northwest region. Some showers dotting around there, and that's where we see on the live radar. Could be quite miserable there, with thicker cloud as well, especially thicker cloud further westwards, closer to the weather front. Further northwards and eastwards, some scattered showers around, but again, shouldn't be too bad for most. And you can see further south and eastwards, more sunshine around, not too bad. As we head into tomorrow, that weather front really arrives. That northwest England area could be really quite miserable. That area around Liverpool, north of Liverpool, up towards the Scottish borders, could be really quite miserable there overnight tonight. But that rain does fade away, but hang around potentially into the early hours of the morning. And tomorrow, it's a decent day for most. The morning, yes, some rain lingering in around that northwest area, potentially into parts of North Wales and parts of Northern Ireland. But into the afternoon, it's not too bad. A few scattered showers and maybe a few heavy torrential showers, maybe a little lightning mixed in there. But nothing too substantial. Friday, a very decent day, getting into the low 20s again. But if we head through Friday evening into the early hours of Saturday, you can start to see the first signs of some thundery showers moving up from the south. Not making their way too far inland yet, and that's because if you look at the 850 HPA temperatures, it's forming these thunderstorms in the very warm air that doesn't really move in until later on Saturday. Into early hours of Sunday, and it's that very warm air you can see just in the southeast which is going to trigger major storms through Sunday before some cooler air moves in. But you can see these repeated bouts of warmer air masses fueling these storm systems. But if we do go back to the precipitation, you can see for early hours of Saturday a few showers and thundery showers moving up from the south, but it's really starts to get going towards Saturday afternoon, where we do see some pop-up showers in the far south of Ireland, southwest England. Now, the UK Met Office run isn't making too much of these showers, but as we'll see in some other models in a minute, they're a bit more significant. So that's why I'm saying Saturday afternoon potentially for some big showers. But it's through Saturday evening into Sunday, you see these severe storms moving up from the south. Massive multi-celled systems moving up through the south coast, through the London area into Kent, all the way down into the southwest as well, and into parts of Southern Ireland, moving northwards. Yes, the lightning activity reducing by Sunday morning, become more of a big mass of heavy rain, but it will initially be multi-celled thunderstorm systems. And beyond that, we see that precipitation just move northwards, and then through Sunday night, maybe some more storms through for southern parts of Wales, and then more scattered thunderstorms through Monday again, and we could see another little storm system potentially through early hours of Tuesday. Potentially more of a rain event, but still some reds showing up in there, so potentially some thundery activity. So you can see repeated bouts potentially of thundery activity all the way from maybe perhaps early hours of Saturday for the far south coast, all the way through into Monday, maybe even Tuesday. So there's going to be multiple chances here. So yes, some of the events most likely won't come off quite as we're seeing them. Some of them may not have particularly high levels of lightning, but we've got multi events. So we're going to have to keep a real close eye on this. So if you do have a look at the 2-meter temperatures, you can see this afternoon temperatures getting up to the high teens, low 20s. Not too bad at all, but of course where we have that precipitation in the west across Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, only low teens. Now, if we do move through to tomorrow afternoon, you can see not too bad once again. Yes, some thicker cloud further northwards, where that sort of that rain band and the weather front sort of dissipates, but widely high teens, low 20s once again, 22, 23 degrees, maybe even 24 degrees is possible along the south coast. But as we head into Saturday, you see again still some warmer temperatures for some in around that 20-degree mark, but you can start to see some cooler patches appearing, and that's where showers are starting to form. And then we head into Sunday, you can see those temperatures are really low. Potentially only 9, 10, 11 degrees. Yes, we have a very warm air mass, but with that persistent rain, thunderstorms bringing much cooler air aloft, well above the 850 HPA level, all the way down to the surface through the heavy precipitation. It's going to feel miserable on the surface, but right along the far south coast into parts of Kent, maybe 21 degrees, parts of Sussex and Kent, 21 degrees, as we are just behind those thunderstorm systems, where bit of sun comes out, you see higher temperatures. And again into Monday, you can see again widespread, potentially 20, 21 degrees, but either side of storm systems. Heavy rain to our north, and storms start to track in from the south once again. So you can see very up and down temperatures, all dependent on where the showers and storms do develop. So if we do now have a look on the WRF, have a look at what's going to be happening over the next 72 hours regarding the thunderstorm activity. Now, if we do start at the 850 HBA temperatures, so this just gives you an indication of the air mass which is fueling these storms. So you can see at the moment it's not particularly warm, but warmer air masses are trending up from the south, and through Friday into Saturday, warm air mass is starting to linger up, and that's where we start to see the first storm activity, warmer pushes of air. And it's through Saturday afternoon into the evening, you see this little low pressure system spinning up in the far southeast, giving really warm air pushing up, really spinning up, and it's round that's where we could see significant storm activity. Now, another way to view this is looking at the theta E values, which is the amount of energy within the atmosphere at a certain temperature. So yeah, just another way of viewing the 850 HPA temperatures, and again, it can show sort of the type of air mass we're going to be seeing. So you'll see darker reds on here, showing really humid air mass with a lot of energy within it. So if we do run through, you can see warm through Thursday afternoon, through the central areas, nothing too bad. Those deep reds just to our south, and through Friday afternoon, you can see some more reds moving in. That's where we see warmest conditions. And into Saturday, start to see push of even darker colours, but it's through Saturday afternoon into the evening. Look at that real dark reds into pinks and sort of purpley colours. Moving in into the southeast, where we can see the biggest storm activity. You can see this little lull there. That's the centre of a low pressure system. Wherever that is, we've got storms rotating around that. And this is not pop-up storms. This is multi-celled systems all around a low pressure system enveloped in this really hot air. And that's why we could see severe storms, and why it's quite likely we do see quite severe outbreaks of storms, because it's not just convection based, it's all through the atmosphere here. We've got low pressure with very hot air, and as we'll see in a minute, we've got very high levels of CAPE as well. Eventually that warm air does dissipate away into Sunday afternoon, but still there, that's why we can still see more storm systems. Now, if we have a look at the storm relative helicity, which basically gives us the the value that, or updraft values really. So the darker colours here shows updrafts, so getting towards these sort of greeny colours showing updraft potential within a storm rotation, and you can see relatively high values through Friday in the south, but it's through Friday into Saturday you see initially through Saturday morning a little bit of big updraft there along the far south coast. Could see some thunderstorm potential there through Saturday afternoon, and then through Saturday evening you see again this other system here wrapped around the low pressure system. Got all these also of course wind values wrapped around, so you've got the wind values and we've also got the relative storm helicity, and that is bringing big updrafts and could produce significant storms. You can see we have these wind wrapping around the low pressure system, so very interesting conditions for this storm system through early hours of Sunday. I think it could be really quite severe, and another way to emphasize that is by having a look at the CAPE values. Now, if we do remember those storm systems we saw a couple weeks ago, and we were seeing CAPE values it's getting towards the greens, so around 1,000 joules per kilogram. But as you'll see with this system, we're seeing even higher values. Now, if we do run it through, you see not too much CAPE around at the moment. That's why we're not seeing any major thunderstorms by any means. But through Friday afternoon, maybe a little bit over parts of Ireland and the Republic of Ireland into parts of Wales, and through Friday evening, maybe a little bit of pop-up storms, maybe for a few. For early hours of Saturday, you see a bit of CAPE pushing up from the south, and for Saturday afternoon, increased values getting towards that sort of 1,500 range, and even higher, those reds pushing into the far south, and that's why through Saturday evening, we can see big storms. Now, this is most unstable CAPE values. So you've got the most unstable particle there. This is how much energy is available. So once a storm system has developed, when we've got that instability, once we've got those big storms developing, this is the energy available to them. And you can see big storm potential. And you can see the centre of the low there, very little activity, because of course towards the centre of a low pressure system, there is very little rotation, so not a lot of energy available. And you can see big, widespread, high amounts of CAPE, bringing big storms and very heavy rain before it does dissipate through early hours of Sunday. But if we have a look at the surface-based CAPE, so this is the CAPE for a particle layer at the surface. So when you get our traditional summer convective storms, where we go from nothing to massive storms in 30-40 minutes, then we have high values of surface-based CAPE. And if you run through, you can see through Saturday, we've got high levels of surface-based CAPE, more than most unstable CAPE values through Saturday afternoon into the early hours of, or the early evening. And that means through Saturday afternoon, most likely will be pop-up storms, smaller storm systems that could band together to create lines of storms perhaps, but it's going to be surface-based. And you can see through Saturday evening very high valued surface-based storms across northern France. So the most likely scenario is we see some surface-based storms through Saturday afternoon into the evening, but we see bigger storms across the near continent, and those travel into the UK, because you can see by the early hours of Sunday, when these storms are really pushing into the UK, there's very little surface-based CAPE. So once we get those storms going, that's when we do get the CAPE values in the most unstable CAPE values, invigorating those storms, keeping them going. But we're not going to see any new storms potentially pop-up storms form. So it's going to be a multi-celled system that maintains its strength. And yes, we could see other cells develop within it from the downdrafts, of course, the outflow of storms. But it does look like very much it's going to be this system alone which is going to really generate the storms. That's why it's going to be mainly the southeast focus for the storms through Sunday, early hours of Sunday. But we could see those storms, those surface-based storms, more through Saturday. And beyond that, we do have a little bit of CAPE around here or there, but nothing too crazy. So if we do finish, because of course we had a very detailed look at all these charts, just at the raw precipitation, what all of these values, all these temperatures, wind directions, relative storm or the storm relative helicity, and the CAPE values, what it all combines together in terms of precipitation. Now you can see the few showers we're seeing at the moment, heavier rain across the Republic of Ireland, and then that does clear, and as we head into Saturday you can see those surface-based storms potentially, or initially storms there, and then you can see by Saturday afternoon potentially some of those pop-up storms, surface-based storms. But you can also see part of Europe some surface-based storms developing as well, but those storms rapidly expand, and we see a massive storm system moving to the far southeast for early hours of Sunday. Big storms into parts of Kent, into the London area as well, could be very, very severe here. And you can see it is in a wide area of rain. So not all of this is going to be thunderstorms, because it is quite a complex system, a multi-celled system. There's going to be thunderstorm cells embedded within a big area of rain. That's the most likely scenario here. So you can see that as we move through. Of course, nearer we get to the time, because it is 72 hours away, the more accurate this is going to be and the better idea we will have with it. So if we do finally, for the short-range models, have a look at the ARPEGE. If we start the most unstable Cape values, you see a little bit over the next day or so, but it's really as we head into Saturday, a little bit through the day, but it's through Saturday evening, big levels of Cape moving through the early hours. Again, not quite as much as the WRF, but that was similar to what we saw with the storm system a few weeks ago, but the ARPEGE was slightly lower than the WRF. But again, this is more widespread and higher amounts of Cape, most unstable Cape, than we saw a few weeks ago. And everyone in the southeast, even into parts of the Midlands and East Anglia, saw those storms and saw how severe they were. Thousands and thousands of lightning strikes. What I'm trying to say is this storm system could be on par with that and has the potential to be even more severe than that and more widespread. Just looking at the sort of the raw values of Cape we do have. Now, of course, there's many other complex things that we can't always take into account with these storm systems, and those could, of course, either make it more intense or make it less intense. And again, that's why we're going to have to see how this does develop over the next day or so. But for the time being, it does look like we could be seeing a real severe outbreak of storms through Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, if we do finish up by having a look at the precipitation. Now you can see as we head into early hours of Saturday, some showers and storms moving into the far south, turning into more widespread area of rain into parts of Ireland. Through Saturday evening, we see that big storm system in the far southeast. These oranges and greens showing big cells developing in the far southeast, heading northwards into a larger band of precipitation, similar to the UKMO Operational Run, spreading northwards through the early hours of Sunday. So again, it's going to be one of these sort of French import storm systems where we see it spreading up from the south. It could be very severe, and again, we'll have to just keep an eye really on how it does develop. So if we do finish the video by having a look at the latest from the GFS, and then we'll just briefly have a look at the ensembles. Now you can see high pressure building in at the moment. That little low pressure system just to our south, that's giving the storms through Sunday and Monday. That little upper trough you can see there, just lighter yellows there. Now beyond that, high pressure stays in control for a lot of the time. But you can see low pressure is threatening from the west, so this can be a scenario where we see a lot of sunshine and showers, maybe storm outbreaks, not multi-celled storm outbreaks, but sort of pop-up storm outbreaks with instability and warmer air being fueled into it. Beyond that, we do generally see a bit of a westerly flow. Yes, some high pressure to our east, trying to keep that airflow in from the south, but with westerly winds coming in, it's going to be, yes, warm, drier further eastwards, but also quite showery further westwards. So you can see generally warm air masses are in control, seeing little pushes of very warm air at times, so it could be seeing temperatures into the mid to high 20s, just for a couple of days here or there, so nothing sustained, but could still see some quite warm conditions, but equally cooler conditions coming from the west every now and again. So we could be seeing quite a lot of flip-flopping in terms of temperatures this next couple of weeks. Now, if we do finish by having a look at the ensembles, we'll just run through this very quickly, as I know this video is starting to drag a bit. You can see those temperatures are on the rise significantly over the next 2 days, well up above average, 5, 6, 7 degrees above average, and you can see those massive precipitation spikes through Sunday and Monday, and that's those big storm systems not only giving thunderstorms, but very heavy rain, widespread heavy rain as well. Now, beyond that, temperatures stay around or above average, and that's why I say temperatures could be sort of mid-20s at times, maybe only high teens, though, when we see more shower activity, and you can see generally some precipitation around. So yes, not going to be bone dry, but it's not going to be an absolute washout at this stage. Look at those 2 meter temperatures, you can see warm over the next day or two in around that sort of 20 degree mark, a couple of degrees above or below, then turning much cooler towards the end of the weekend, start of next week, as we do see those thunderstorm systems. And even though there's going to be warm air mass, it's going to cool the conditions down at the surface quite significantly. And in the longer term, as I said in yesterday's video, we could be seeing a bit of a step change where we could be going up towards sort of our average highs in around that low 20s. Recently, it's been sort of around that 17, 18 degree mark, but it could be going up towards 20, 21, 22 degrees after these thunderstorm systems, as the air mass is generally coming in from the south, southwest, which, yes, it is going to be showery, especially low pressure out in the Atlantic, into parts of Ireland and Wales, Scotland, and what's Western England, southwestern England. Going to see showers around, but it could also mean much warmer conditions with the air mass staying in from the southwest, building warmth at the surface. Yes, not hot, it's not going to be high 20s or 30 degrees, but low 20s, sort of around that 21 to 23 degree mark, which is really quite pleasant and is the average high really for summer months. So if we do finish by having a look at the ECMWF Ensembles, again, we'll just have a look at the 850 HPA temperatures and precipitation. You can see, again, warming trend over the next couple of days with big precipitation spikes and major thunderstorms, and then returning to around or slightly above average for the foreseeable future. Still quite a bit of precipitation spikes, a lot of showers around, but warmer than average generally. So looking like June is going to be starting, at least the first week or two, much, much warmer than average. So temperatures expecting into those low 20s. So it's looking pretty decent. Yes, big thunderstorms potentially through Saturday into Monday, but after that it's looking pretty decent. Still showery, but pretty warm indeed. So anyway, hope you're all enjoying your Platinum Jubilee week, bank holiday weekend. It does look like today and tomorrow is going to be still decent days, but by Saturday afternoon, for some, especially in the south, for the north it's not too bad, but Saturday afternoon in the south could be starting to deteriorate significantly, and then through Sunday it does look like it's going to be really stormy. I wouldn't say an absolute washout, because where the exact precipitation bands are, it's still a little bit uncertain. But for some, it will be a washout. It will be pretty miserable, cold, and stormy through Sunday, Monday time. So do keep an eye on the forecast. We'll have to keep an eye really on what's happening with this. And I'll keep you updated, and we'll have a look at this again in detail tomorrow. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.